Hi, this is Noel Salas for the Surfboard Empire.
I'll write a million songs a day in hopes you're listening to every word I say. I'll make you crawl back in your bed and pray to God that soon I'll wake up dead. I'll wake up dead.
Hey guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas, and today's surfboard review is on the Noa model by Luke Short Designs. Now I've got two boards. I've got a stock 5.8 PU poly coming in at 25.8 liters, and this is a custom 5.6 PU poly coming in at 25.6 liters. I'm 5'9" and 160 pounds. This is going to be a great review. Sit back, get your favorite drink, enjoy the show. Now as we dive into this review, I think the best place to start is my conversation with Luke on the phone. Now, I really enjoy watching Noa Deane surf, and watching him surf on this particular model in one of his movies, I thought that board looks pretty sick. I wonder how it would go here in SoCal. Now, Luke's a shaper out of Australia, and when we got on the phone, I started to talk to him about what model would be best for our community. And I'm always thinking about you guys going, I don't want to get such a high performance shortboard that none of us really want to work hard and ride. And then where I like to surf at the point breaks, the wave always looks so perfect on video. But what you guys don't know is the point breaks that I like to surf, it has steep sections and then it'll have flat sections. And so if I get on a board with too much rocker, when I come off the bottom and I want to do a nice top turn, if the wave goes flat, I'm going to lose speed in that turn and the board's going to look slow. So I try and choose boards that I think will be easier for us to surf, have more fun, whether you're riding beach breaks or point breaks or even reefs, something more user-friendly. And that's kind of how my conversation with Luke went. And Luke says, you know, the Noa model is pretty simple. No real bells and whistles. It's just Noa Deane likes his stuff just pretty straightforward. And I'm like, okay, well, tell me a little bit about the rocker. And he says, well, it's got continuous rocker. It's a little bit medium on the entry and it's medium on the exit. And I'm thinking, Luke, this could be risky for you. If I put it in the point breaks and it starts to look slow, our community will notice that. And Luke says, no, this board will go good in 2 foot to 6 foot surf. And he goes, and I really think that it'll shine bright in the waves that you're riding. I said, okay, good enough. See, for me, my conversations with the shapers is this is an honest, fair review here. So we've had boards that come from Australia because there's more punch in the wave over there and power that when I put it in the point breaks here, it looks a bit slow or sluggish. So then I have to go find a beach break that's got a little bit more punch to it so that board can start to shine in kind of the waves it was designed to surf. So sometimes, in my personal opinion, what happens in Australia and the way they shape boards over there doesn't always translate to being a good model here in Southern Cal. With that being said, I talked about continuous rocker and what my concerns are. One of the things that I think that Noa did real well in his pro model design with Luke is that it has a bit wider nose and a bit wider tail. Now, the wider nose for Noa Deane is going to give more stability under the front foot for the kind of airs and rotations he does. But for a guy like me and you, this width is going to give us better paddling, right? There is some foam shoved forward in here, and I can feel it when I'm paddling. Now, a little bit more width in the tail, just having that extra surface area is going to get that lift in the tail and keep the board moving so it can keep its speed. So for me, whether I was pushing this board in 2 foot, I thought, okay, I'm talking about the 5.6 here. You know I like a shorter board in a tighter transition. The 5.6 was giving that to me, and it seemed like it was carrying pretty good speed. Now, there is one left that I got a couple good turns, and I felt like I was compressing and extending real hard, And as long as I kept the board moving and it was able to surf it top to bottom, it held pretty good speed. Now on another right that I got that was maybe chest high, I got some down the line speed, couple turns, and then the board was holding its speed pretty good. So now I want to talk a little bit about the rail and the board outline. When I put the board under my arm and I feel the rail, I'd say it's medium. Now, one thing I noticed about the board is it does have a dome deck, and I really saw it right up in here. Remember I was talking about that foam being shoved forward? I can see the foam real well here, and one of the things that happens at times with a dome deck is when the shaper takes the rail down, it can get a bit pinched. Now, I mentioned that it's medium, so a really pinched rail can give you a lot of bite. I would say this is somewhere in the middle. So I've got good hold and it's soft and forgiving. Now, with that foam shoved forward, one of the things I really liked about this board, and I noticed it more front side than back side because I felt like we had better rights than less for this review, is just going to the bottom and I'm going to do a nice wrap in the pocket. I felt like I could really lean into that turn, shift my weight forward and try and get more drive through that turn. So I had the hold I was looking for from the rail, and then I had that medium exit rocker, so it gave me good traction. Now, it didn't matter if I was riding the 5.6 or 5.8. The other thing I really liked, and this is more about the outline, is its wide point's a little back from center. And I've talked about this before, that wide point being back is going to make this board pivot quick. So the board's relatively loose, and I could get it right up in the pocket very easily. Now on the bottom contours, nothing super trick here. It's running a single concave. I would say it's moderate. And as I get into about right by the logos right here, I'm starting to feel a double running through that single. So let me just show you where that's at. I'm feeling it right here. Look how far up from the fins I am. Now as I go back more into that fin cluster, it gets a little bit more aggressive in the double concave. Runs all the way through. And then one of the things that I personally like about a single to double is the way the water flows, especially when it's windy, like there's a lot of texture on the wave surface, or if it's wonky. And wonk for me is like two different swell directions. So I can get going with a lot of speed, waves overhead, put the board on rail. I feel like a single to double settles down better for me personally in those wonky or textured sessions compared to a single concave. Feels like I'm going a lot faster and I'm kind of skipping, and it might be a little bit harder to get that rail to bite or hold on my bottom turns and give me the traction I'm looking for. Now I want to talk about the fins I chose. And since the waves were a bit smaller, I started board testing with the 5.6 first. Now this is my fin design. It's a prototype fiberglass fin I'm calling Momentum Series Rake Template. It's a collaboration with Naked Viking Surf, and I put this first bit of clips together riding the 5.6 with this fin setup right here. Check it out.
Your summers feel like hell. Let's start it off with the game of kiss and tell. I know you don't even like me, this I swear. I know that I will always be the one to shatter all your dreams. Yeah, please. I'm down to my knees. I love the way you made me feel, but I can't to know it wasn't real. So now I'm lying awake, and now
Now that you've seen a few waves on the 5.6, I chose the Momentum Series rake template to enhance that medium exit rocker. Remember, the board has this built-in hold and traction through turns because of the rocker, and if I complement that rocker with a fin that's got more rake, I'll get more drive through my turns. Now, if you follow the show, you know I'm riding a large fin 95% of the time. Why? I'm addicted to that speed. What I like about a large fin is it has that wide base. Now that wide base offers some resistance, so when I hit a turn and I feel the board pushing back, I'll push harder and then I can gain speed through that turn. Now, a large fin depth is going to make the board a little bit tighter. It's going to offer a bit more drag. So this design has a large fin base with medium fin depth. So now the board's going to feel looser, it's going to offer less drag, and this Momentum Series concept is my interpretation of fast and loose. Now, when you purchase this set, it comes with 2 center fins. This center fin is the same width and height as the side fins. This center fin is roughly 7% smaller than this center fin. And what's that going to do? It's going to make the board even feel a little bit looser and keep it nice and playful, especially in small waves. Now, if I could do it again, this 5.6, I'd run the same fin setup, but I'd go EPS and get a little bit more pop and projection, and this board would be feeling more lively underfoot. Now, when the waves got a little bit bigger, I jumped on the 5.8, kept the Momentum Series rake template in, but I changed out the center fin. Now all 3 fins are the same size. Check out these waves.
Maybe you don't ever want to save me, and maybe you don't ever want to be with me, and maybe you don't ever want to hold me.
Now that you've seen a few waves on the 5.8, I personally enjoyed a couple extra inches in rail line. I just felt like it could hold my bottom turns longer and push harder in my carves. Now, on the fin setup, with all 3 fins the same size, I felt like at the peak of a turn, I had that hold I was looking for, whether it was coming off the top or even just setting that bottom turn. Now, I did ride it with the smaller center fin one day, and it still felt good. It just felt a little bit looser, especially in bigger surf. And personally, I like when I go to set the rail down for a turn, I'm looking for consistency and I want to push hard. So as the waves get overhead, I would run this setup. And when the waves are smaller, run it with the smaller center fin. I think you guys will be stoked. So let's look at some waves together. This is the 5.6. It's a nice little wave. Quick top turn. The wave kind of goes flat, but you can see the board's still squirting with speed just to set up this big carve right here. That felt great. Now this little right, board's looking fast, loose, rail to rails, real responsive with excellent flow. Now this little left, I really believe if the 5.6 was EPS, I'd have way more pop and projection in these little waves and the board would be looking a lot more lively underfoot. Now this is the 5.8, nice little right here, take that high line, able to lay hard into this carve and get good drive through that turn, right into a top turn again. Now this last little right, you can see there's some wonk on the wave face. The board's carrying good speed as I get through from turn to turn. Nice projection right there. Almost able to get back to the wave face as the wave closed out. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's review on the Noa model by LSD. I'm calling it a daily driver and I highly recommend it for intermediate all the way to pro level surfers in 3 to 6 foot surf. If you want to ride it in smaller waves, I recommend EPS. Special shout out thanks to Luke Short for sending these boards down for review. Hey, and if you like the show, subscribe. And if you like our content, give us a thumbs up. Until next time, we'll see you in the water. Bye-bye.